Philadelphia News, team of my heart.
You think you know the story. You think you know this team. You've been on this path with the Philadelphia 76ers through the highs, the lows, the Sixers news that shakes the foundation of this city. But I'm going to tell you something right now, something that has been quietly slipping out from beneath the surface, something that should make every single Sixers fan pause and take a long, hard look at the direction of this franchise. Are you really ready for the truth? Because the dream of last season, that feeling, that spark, that belief that we had found some absolute hidden treasures, that dream is rapidly turning into a nightmare. You know what it feels like to pour your heart and soul into supporting these young guys, right? You see the potential, you chant their names, you believe in the process. But what if the process is now confronting a cold, harsh reality? We're only 8 games in, and the alarm bells, they aren't just ringing, they are screaming through the Wells Fargo Center. I'm going to lay out the evidence, piece by piece, on 2 players we all had penciled in as essential rotation guys. They were the silver lining, the reason to keep watching when the team was going through the motions. But now they are glaring, neon red flags on this team's short-term future. I'm not talking about a little slump. I'm talking about a seismic shift in production and opportunity. One of these young men in particular was supposed to be the answer to our perimeter shooting problems, the defense-first wing that Coach Nick Nurse could rely on. He was getting major minutes, showing flashes of that Kentucky pedigree. And now, he's practically glued to the bench. I want you to start watching closely, listening to the details I'm about to give you, and tell me in the comments the exact moment you realize which player I'm talking about. Don't spoil it for others. Just tell me, I knew it at the 2:15 mark. This is your challenge. You need to stay locked in to see if you can solve this mystery before I drop the name later in the video. Why should you stick around? And why should you smash that subscribe button if you haven't already? Because we break down the Sixers news like no one else. We go deep into the statistics, into the body language, into the coaching decisions that others just gloss over. If you want the real story, the raw emotion, and the deep analysis that comes with being a true Sixers fanatic, you have to subscribe. Don't be that fan who hears about the trade rumors secondhand. Be the first to know the truth. Now let's examine this unsettling trend. We are talking about players who gave us convincing flashes last year, players who got an unrestricted look in a chaotic season, the perfect environment for young guys to blossom. But now, with a legitimate win-now roster, with stars like Joel Embiid and Paul George leading the charge, these same players are struggling to find their place, their role, their purpose. It's almost as if the lights are too bright now that winning is the priority. The transition from freedom to structure is proving to be a serious stumbling block for both of them. But let's look at the first name, the young wing whose offensive game has simply vanished. Last season, he was averaging almost a full quarter of action, giving you defense at the point of attack, and more importantly, reliable catch-and-shoot threes. The expectation, and I mean the universal expectation, was that he would be a pivotal, high-minute rotational piece this year. But listen to this. He's averaging 14.2 fewer minutes per game. 14 minutes! That's a massive drop. Think about what that signals from Coach Nurse. It tells you that the coach cannot trust what he is seeing. His premier skill was supposed to be his off-the-catch marksmanship, but through 8 games, he's converting on just 35% from deep. Now, 35% isn't terrible, but the volume is undesirable, just 2.9 attempts per game. When you are the designated spot-up shooter for a team with Embiid drawing double teams, you have to be ready to fire, and more importantly, you have to hit. The team is doing its part, creating opportunities. 85.9% of his made threes were assisted. The ball is finding him, but the shots are not falling with consistency. And his own inability to create separation off the dribble means if his jumper isn't there, his contribution is almost non-existent. The floor is shrinking, the defense is no longer paying him the respect he needs, and Nick Nurse, a coach whose philosophy is rooted in efficiency, has no alternative but to cut his minutes. This is not a slight adjustment. This is a major demotion, and it speaks volumes about the early season performance and the lack of confidence he's showing. This is a critical moment for this young man's career, And if he can't figure out his role now, his future with this competitive Sixers team, the team that has its sight fixed on a title, will be drastically shortened. This entire situation smells like a future trade conversation if things don't turn around fast. The clock is ticking, and the fans' patience is wearing thin, especially when we see what others are providing. You feel that pressure, don't you? That anxiety when a promising player suddenly looks lost? Don't go anywhere. If the struggles of our young wing weren't enough to make you nervous, wait until you hear the statistical nightmare unfolding with our second-year center. You thought you were done with the anxiety. Think again. This is crucial Sixers news, and it impacts the very foundation of this team's defense. You saw the promise last year, right? The flashes of a rim-running, shot-blocking dynamo, the next great backup center. He positioned himself to take the role this season, especially after the previous backup had a less-than-stellar campaign. And he did get the job. He started all 3 games Joel Embiid missed. He's in the rotation, but his grip on that role, it is by the absolute slimmest of margins. And here's the most alarming number you will hear all season. When he is on the floor, opponents are grabbing an offensive rebound on 31.8% of their missed shots. Let that sink in. 31.8%. That number would rank in the top 4 worst in the entire NBA. This is not sustainable, folks. You cannot win consistently in this league when you give up that many second chances. Rebounding is an effort stat, a fundamental of basketball, and this glaring weakness is single-handedly negating a lot of the positive things he brings to the court. Do you agree that rebounding is a non-negotiable trait for a center? Tell me, yes, rebounding is key, or no, shot blocking matters more in the comments right now. I want to know where your priorities lie, because for Coach Nurse, the focus has to be on closing out possessions. Now, he is an excellent shot blocker. We've seen that explosive verticality, that defensive instinct. The problem is simple. His lack of size is being exposed nightly against NBA bigs, and his inability to consistently box out is killing the team. If he were a stretch 5, this might be excusable. But he has not made a single three-pointer in his professional passage, meaning any thoughts of him playing power forward are immediately hindered by a lack of floor spacing. He must assert himself off the glass. He must maximize his potential as a center by owning the defensive boards and picking his spots to block shots, not just swinging wildly. The margin for error is 0, and right now the numbers are screaming for a change, potentially a trade that brings in a reliable veteran presence. I'm asking you, the dedicated fan who follows every piece of Sixers news. Do you think this young center has the physical tools to fix this rebounding issue? Or is his size a fundamental limitation? Respond in the comments, and let's have a real, honest discussion about the future of the 5 spot. The future of the Philadelphia 76ers depends on every player finding their lane. But right now, these 2 promising second-year players are running into serious red flags. The wing we talked about, the one losing minutes and struggling with his shot, is Justin Edwards. He needs to find that confidence and that consistency right now. And the center, the one fighting an uphill battle with the glass, is Adem Bona. Both are facing their first true test of adversity in the NBA, and their responses will define their careers here in Philadelphia. This is where the rubber meets the road. You've stuck with us through this whole intense analysis. That shows you are the kind of dedicated, passionate fan we make these videos for. If you found this breakdown valuable, if you felt the raw emotion of a true Sixers fan, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss a single moment of the dramatic Sixers news we cover, especially with the trade deadline looming. And as a final sign that you watched this entire, intense video, I want you to go to the comments right now and simply type the word Sixers Pride. Let us know you are one of us.